Where the Children Play, Chapter 2. Early the next morning, Lex and his mother left for downtown. His stomach quivered with anticipation. He could hardly wait to explore. Perhaps he would even make some new friends. But excitement quickly gave way to confusion when he arrived to find the streets deserted and the shops all closed. "Where is everyone?" he asked. "Good question." Mother stopped at a traffic light. "Let's ride around some more. We're bound to run into someone sooner or later." They drove to the end of the street, then turned left at an intersection. The road led to the town church. The building resembled something from the Old West, featuring an all-white facade, tall shuttered windows, and a belfry. Cars lined the curbsides and filled the adjacent parking lot, dozens of them. The entire population must have been present. Looks like they're holding service," Mother said. "On a Tuesday?" Lex asked dubiously. "Maybe they do things differently around here. Do you think we should join them? We are part of the community now." Lex shrugged. "Sure." Mother drove to the nearest curb and squeezed the station wagon between two sedans. No sooner had she cut the engine than the church doors opened and locals began flowing out. "Well," Mother said, "so much for that idea." Lex spotted Barclay in the mass. Even at the church, the sheriff wore his uniform. He and several other citizens lingered near the entrance, consoling a man who wept openly. Lex didn't think much of it. Growing up in a Christian household, he attended church service regularly. He had seen people cry, scream, dance, speak in tongues, and even pass out. That was the power of the Holy Ghost. Once the store owners had returned to their businesses, Lex and his mother stopped at a restaurant called Dell's Kitchen for breakfast, lured inside by a street sign advertising the best cuisine in town. There must have been some truth to it, considering the crowd that quickly amassed. Lex ordered waffles and orange juice. Mother had a bacon omelet with hash browns and sweet tea. As they waited for their food, an older woman in a black and white dress approached their booth. Lex recognized her as one of the churchgoers. Short and plump, she had a red beehive hairstyle and a bright smile. Thick tortoiseshell glasses teetered on the edge of her round, fleshy nose. "You must be the new arrivals," she said in a mousy voice. "Sure are," Mother said. "I'm Trish. This is my son Lex." "Pleasure to meet you." "I'm Eloise Walton. I work the front desk at the police station. The sheriff told me about you. Said you came all the way from Atlanta. We don't get many visitors around here, especially ones from big cities. How's Red Grove treating you so far?" "Great," Mother said. "It's hard to believe places like this still exist. The kind old folks describe when reminiscing about the good old days." "And what about you, Lex? Do you like it?" "Yes, ma'am," Lex said. "Handsome and polite. You've raised quite the gentleman, Trish." "I do my best," Mother said. "How was church, by the way? Lex and I would have joined you, but it seems we were too late." "Church?" Eloise replied, outwardly confused. Then her eyes widened as if she suddenly remembered something. "Oh, you must mean the lottery. We used to hold it in the town hall, but folks petitioned that it be moved to the church, so that's what happened." "I thought lotteries were illegal in Alabama." "It's not for money. The winner gets a chance to better serve the community. It's a big honor." "Sounds interesting." Mother glanced at Lex. "Think we should enter next time?" Before he could respond, Eloise interjected. "Children aren't allowed to enter. Same goes for mothers and women who are expecting. Sorry." Lex found that odd. He wanted to pry, but feared seeming rude. Fortunately, his mother had no such reservations. "The prize you mentioned," she said. "A chance to serve the community? What does that entail?" "This and that," Eloise said. "The sheriff is one who organizes the entire shindig. There's a whole screening process involved. Too tedious and complicated for my taste. He can explain it better than I can." "In that case, I'll be sure to bring it up when I see him." Eloise's smile broadened. Anyway, I think I've bored you two enough for one day. Besides, I need to place this to-go order before I waste away. It's been a real pleasure. Likewise, Mother said. Shortly after Eloise left, a young waitress came over with 2 steaming plates. Lex's waffles looked and smelled amazing. They tasted even better. He and his mother cleaned their plates, then explored the town in earnest. Their first stop was Heron Park. Flowers carpeted the landscape, scenting the breezes that sighed through the trees and bushes and skimmed across the surface of a large pear-shaped lake. Joggers and women with strollers traversed the surrounding footpaths, while adults and children alike tossed popcorn and bread morsels to the gaggles of ducks. Near the playground was a farmer's market that sold fresh local produce and homemade confections. Mother bought onions, bell peppers, celery, and crawfish for her signature homemade gumbo. At Lex's insistence, she also purchased a pound of peanut brittle, which she made him promise not to touch until after dinner. Everyone they encountered offered smiles and kind words. Some stopped to chat. Their conversations mostly centered around Lex, his hobbies, aspirations, and overall impression of the town. Upon learning that he planned to become a writer, an elderly fruit vendor suggested they visit the local library. Coincidentally, it was their next scheduled stop. The 2-story stone building resembled an old-world mansion, complete with a chimney, a picket fence, and a porch lined with rocking chairs. Inside, shelves rose to the ceiling, and the air carried that distinctive mustiness synonymous with vintage books. The two elderly women read quietly in a sitting area near the periodical section. Lex imagined he would spend a lot of time here. Before leaving, he got a library card and checked out 3 books. All were compilations of real-life ghost stories. One centered entirely around demons, and other hostile spirits. Specifically, how to drive them away. Information that could prove invaluable if he ever ran into something nasty. Red Grove Elementary was the next point of interest. It had a red brick exterior, a bell tower, and a sprawling football field. Lex enjoyed learning, but only when it pertained to his interest: English, art, and history. Everything else he could do without, particularly math. Luckily, summer vacation had only just begun. He would not see the inside of a classroom for some time. A bulletin board beside the main entrance displayed upcoming events. Pinned among the myriad announcements were posters for 3 missing boys. Lex would make sure to keep an eye out for them. From there, he and Mother moved on to their next destination, Gulliver's. The town general store had its own gas station, buffet area, and automotive repair shop. It offered a huge selection of food, clothes, household items, and more. Lex's visit landed on the day of a big sale, a sale his mother intended to capitalize on. While she roamed the aisles, he investigated the toy section. A watercolor paint set caught his attention. He was about to ask Mother to buy it for him when he noticed a bag boy and a burly man in red flannel emerged from the stockroom. Each carried a large box of canned goods. The men passed through the rear exit and into the alley beyond, where a truck with faded blue paint waited. They loaded their burdens into the truck bed, then retrieved more from the stockroom. Lex glimpsed someone in the passenger seat. He recognized the thinning brown hair and narrow beak-like nose. It was the same man from the church, the one who had been crying. His mood appeared to have worsened. What happened that made him so upset? Lex could only wonder. He continued to browse the toys until his mother finished shopping. She bought mostly clothes and hygiene products. Lex had convinced her to add the watercolor set to her cart, along with a pack of cotton candy-flavored bubble gum. A second bag boy loaded their purchases into the car. Glancing intermittently at Mother, his face beet red. Lex resisted the urge to smirk. The final portion of the tour brought them to the Town Hall and Community Center Annex, the largest buildings in town. They hosted a variety of seasonal and holiday events. The latter featured a gym, a swimming pool, and provided daycare for single parents. It even held free art and cooking classes. "I think we've done enough adventuring for one day," Mother said on the way back to the car. "Time to head home. Did you have fun?" "Uh-huh," Lex said, a wad of gum stuffed in his cheek. "This place has it all. I could tell we're really going to like it here." On the highway, Lex spied the blue pickup truck ahead in the distance. It turned right onto a back road that melted into the neighboring forest. "I thought going into the woods was against the rules," Lex said. "Just because there are rules doesn't mean everyone followed them," Mother said. "Some people are always looking for trouble, but not us, right?" Lex suspected there was more to it than that. Regardless, he nodded and said, "Right."